There we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a NeuroCreative Leadership Live. Um, we're talking make your value visible today, and we're here on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook. And if you're here, say hello. If you're on the replay, say hashtag replay. And because when you are here and you respond and you get something out of this, even when, as I'm talking, if there's something that you get from this and you immediately declare it back, you're creating that exponential learning curve within your brain, creating neurocreativity, neuroplastic changes for what you do want, insights, live and direct to your brain, and then that also shares out to someone that may want to hear this too in the whatever you want to call it, quantum field, in um uh the there's just the social media algorithm. It's similar things, and it's there in some ways. Feels like we can look at things from a limited place, or we can look at things from a abundant place, and or both. uh and whether or not limitation is actually um, negative or bad, and to be limited with certain processes or anything in limitation creates an expectation of some kind, and that can be useful or less useful if we depending on how emotionally we are with that. So with that, making our value visible and why brilliant minds can get caught up um, not being visible or sharing what they want to share in the world is where they scupper their own contribution, and how that could then lose the impact of um, improving human potential for those that really are brilliant and they're maybe highly sensitive, maybe neurodiverse in some way, or um feeling scattered or trying to get things right and not pressing that live button like I've just pressed. And it takes regulation for poor expression. I love to say, regulate and get into the right space, but not waiting beyond feeling ready enough to start that process and get going. Like I was like, oh, do I pull up some notes here or do I just get going? It's all whenever it is, you see someone doing something at a higher level skill than where you'd like to be or where you are or where you feel you are. There's always another level for them. They're in their own world, their own context. And it's really important to bear in mind that um, it's all perspective. It's all learning and growing. And where are we trying to do things on our own compared to connecting and working with each other to share? And so I love to connect with others and interview them, and I have accountability all the time with different people, different groups, different blocks of time every single day to regulate before expressing, to meet with people, to there's so much that goes on in the background for me to show up and just press the button. Like 25 years of being upset with myself, I was creating in the background furiously. Um, be it playing the guitar, be it DJing, be it sound production, be it just practicing skills that I'd love to practice because they'd get me into flow. I'd be getting into flow, but was I actually expressing my emotions or creating things that I didn't know was possible to create because I was extra limiting myself or just trying to regulate. So all these like processes that I was doing, music, just to feel okay in the world, and yeah, DJ riffs and music and writing. I never really I did share it at points. I did play live here and there, but I didn't necessarily know what to do with it. And so that in itself, going round and round in a cycle, is great for building skill. Um, but when it comes to like sharing value, sharing ideas, I was still blocked. I didn't know how to translate that. So there's this idea of um, value blindness that I like to bring up as a concept of those that are potentially more neurodiverse, high perspective, difficult to latch onto a particular concept because I can see three different sides to the story around that concept, which meant it's like one moment with a little amount of money can turn into a lot of money for someone, or what a lot of money can get lost suddenly in another event, and so what's valuable, what's not valuable, and how you actually put a price on it. So important to recognize, and again, that it's not, but value blindness isn't necessarily a bad thing. But for me, I went through loads of struggles with understanding how to. I was blindly optimistic, which is great for health and for moments, but then I'd scupper, I would crash and burn quite dramatically because I wasn't able to um, hold on to what I wanted to create, or funds, or um, overspending, um, and all these different things that just used to have me spiral back to like I'm not good enough because I when I try to create something, I just build something and then no feedback comes. And it's like learning for me it was just a blocked thing of believing that I was either introverted or shy, or not able to define the value so that someone else can understand that value and get something from it. Um, this is all symptoms of this thing called value blindness. And so, again, being multi-perspectival, to be blind to value can be, to be non-attached to value can be just as important entrepreneurial wise, to be able to just go, oh, I can create all of this with just this one little thing, one little piece of work, one little £5, and turn that £5 into something else, and whatever it is, there's pros and cons to all of these things. It's just noticing if it's unconscious value blindness, how is that affecting being able to describe and earn value in the world for those that are more sensitive, want to support others, but maybe are over giving and not and undercharging and all that kind of stuff. Is that down to value blindness where it's difficult to actually really go, that's what it's worth and it's fixed in this moment as that, so I can actually create an agreement. Um, I wonder what you're getting from all of this so far. Let us know and in the comments. And then you've got from value blindness to value visibility. To make your value visible is what's so important when it comes to value blindness. And again, not necessarily right or wrong, but when visibility is important and when it's okay to not be visible, to have time out, to take a step away from everything, to decompress, that's just as important. It's not about must be visible, hustle, 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 but where is the balance in terms of not try to stay balanced, but an equal amount of creativity and then leadership to throw it out there and see what sticks and find out and get feedback, take action. So, um, so what was missing for me in this whole process? I went through a period of high level anxiety that turned into a period of psychosis in my early 20s. I did not know how to. I'd gone through a break, my first proper breakup, and I just did not know how to reach out. until the very last minute when my eye was flickering and I was hadn't slept for about a week and I could not take it any longer. But I was just grinning and bearing it on the outside. That was the epitome of burnout. When people talk about burnout, do they really mean burnout? Because this is when coming out of that, I reached out to my mother. I was given reflexology for 14 weeks and I recovered from that through natural means. And that in itself was mind blowing because there was so much internal pressure going on where I thought I was absolutely rejected from life and the world. I thought I'd absolutely broken myself. But I also had this thread that there was all of this spiraling, all of these words, thoughts, and feelings going on. Things that I just knew didn't feel right to be true, but I just could not get out of it. It was like a whirlpool. I was in this whirlpool of anxiety and paranoia. And I healed from that. And I saw the power of what was possible to change because of that. And when someone goes through something so rock bottom, and most people say they've been this rock bottom, it's about finances, and I've been there, too, uh, through this value blindness. And the point being is that that real depths of despair is undeniably life changing when getting to that point emotionally and psychologically, that every single day feels like a gift. And I couldn't even explain it at the time, but I just went into doing massage. I started doing massage to help other people with their stress. And then did 8 years of that, burning out physically, getting treatment, and knowing that I could see where else the body physically healed. I'd get into like twisting my ankle and or getting RSI from doing massage for 8 hours non-stop. Just getting so into things and not that that I would get physical injuries, but I didn't believe that it was a fixed process. So I don't have RSIs anymore. I don't have the ankle twisting pain that could have stayed there if I'd have not been given the information or found out myself. I feel blessed to be able to have gone through that and to have had the opportunity, not just externally, to learn that, but I felt like my personality, soul blueprint, or whatever it is, had decided to go to these depths to find out stuff, to be the guide, to show that it's what's possible, to know that it's possible from a very natural place. And the best thing I can say, that dealing, if you're noticing these the symptoms of alien blindness and not pressing buttons to go live, or not creating the, or just building in the background but not putting it out there, waiting for it to be right before getting the feedback. Get the feedback, put it out there. What are you getting from this? I'd love to know what's landing for you. Is there anything that doesn't land for you? That's okay too to share. I'd love to know. It's all continual learning, improvement, and uh, feedback, getting feedback about anything, not just waiting for it and not being the victim of it. It's neutral. Anything that comes to us in life is neutral until we make meaning of it and that, the stories behind it. So this blindness to visibility and finding the balance of how much to put it out there before it's finished, before it's built. What's it costing to not get that out there, to get that project started, or to keep it maintaining? Or where is the gap in finding the help to make it move and keep it moving? We don't have to be doing all the stuff on our own. Um, the uh the what was missing for me, that took me so long before that moment where I had to reach out, was I didn't know how to translate it. Value translation is the key to value visibility because if we're trying to be visible without knowing having a clear message of why or what's valuable to it, then people don't understand it. That's what and again, I got fanatical about marketing and what the principles of marketing, which is curious conversation, getting feedback, collecting ideas and data, seeing what the idea is, getting feedback back to, um, seeing patterns and all the fun stuff about the research part of the market, not this whole process of it being uh, just a tool for pushing things, that people don't want. The heart-centered people, the neurodivergent people, the neurodiverse artists of the world that have visions, visionary projects that are just sitting there could be inspiring someone at this time or inspiring the whole world to know that creativity helps with mental health, to know that finishing things is part of the process of life, to be able to take an idea and say you did it in that day. If it's a small part, the first step of a bigger project, and then that your week is part of the finalizing the project. But we're not there to just sit and try to not do stuff. Well, you can practice that. I had to go away and go back, and the last few years I had to really take a step back as well, and to see what I really wanted to do, and sit with myself and process all of the shedding of all the ideas that weren't working about myself and what I wanted to create, because there were systems that weren't working in the world. So healthcare and wealth care and what I call stealth care to the what's missing in leadership, what's missing in health, what's missing. It all comes back down to principles that I love to help people with and I see the neurodivergent creatives, the neurocreatives stepping into their leadership as being the most important thing in this time for creating new systems, showing visionary ideas through projects. Doesn't have to be a visionary art project, but it could be music, it could be art, it could be these projects of any kind can have a visionary message in it that has people want to take action and move. And so that's my message, to value translate it. I love to help people to translate their value, translate their message, help them get back into their voice, do the marketing, the personal energy branding that makes it easy for them to share who they are, really, not just generic marketing or generic do this way. There's a way. If someone's I'm much better at just pressing live and talking than I am trying to script it. Or I'm not the visual artist. I'm feeling into it. So I'm great at listening and drawing out what people need to do. So great at coaching, great at servant leadership, great um, at the communication piece of spending time finding the tools that actually work to make it fast and effective. So if whatever what else is landing here, if you want to know about neurocreative leadership or get into the launch pad and I do a launch pad clarity call, which just is all about looking at applying to have a process of you stepping into what project you'd like to revamp or just start building and get launch ready. Um, and there's still slots left for this year. So basically, if you want to apply for that, then reach out because I'd love to help and value translate your 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 project and remove all these symptoms of trying to do it on your own or feeling stuck or feeling too fast and undervalued and underpaid and overgiving. All these kind of things. Let's shift from these old paradigm symptoms to visionary projects in the world. Thank you for listening. Thanks for uh, all your time and what are you getting from this? What's your key takeaways? What are your highlights? And just reach out in a reply back here or um, send me a message and we'll speak. and we can have a digital coffee if it's about connecting and pro co-creating something, or if you really want to get that project out there, let's get on a launch clarity call. Thanks for listening. Have a great day and all the best.